Welcome back to my channel, everybody. I remain Oniglo. So if you're new, don't forget to like, subscribe, and so today I am going to be teaching you how I made this top using that manipulation method. And you see the back, you see the front, see the way the dart is and the fit on this particular dress. So I saw this design on my textbook Ellie Armstrong, so I decided to try it, and I'm falling in love with this particular part of this design and the back that is one-sided. So let's go straight into it. So the first thing you need to do for this particular design is to trace out your pattern, which you already know how to get your pattern traced already. So but in this case, you're going to be tracing it on fold. You see the way I just did it? Yes, on fold, so it comes double, so it can enable it for you to get the symmetric neckline on it. So now I'm going to be transferring the dart from the waist dart and the bust dart to the armhole. Yes, that's what I'm going to do first because the design has its own waist. So I'm going to be transferring all the waist dart and the bust dart to the armhole. So to get that, I have to get the mid armhole, and then I'm now going to transfer it to it. So I'll get it the mid armhole. That's where I'm going to transfer the dart to. I'm just going to take my ruler to indicate it. Yes, I'm going to do it also for the other side. So that's how it's going to be. So the two darts will be transferred to the mid armhole. So I'm just going to slash through. So I'm not going to slash through. I'm just going to stop at my bust point. You see the way I did it? Please, that's the way you have to transfer it. So I'll get to my bust point and I've closed the two darts, and you can see the dart has been transferred to the mid armhole. So the next thing I need to do is to indicate my center line. Yes, because this is on double, so I get to know where my midpoint is. So from the design, you can see the dart. It came this way, and it also come this particular way to the bust point. So this upper part get to this point, and this other part get to that point. So I'm going to just show you how you can achieve that. So first of all, I'm going to be using my curve to get it. So I'm just going to take my curve ruler and get it. So in this case, I'm taking it all the way down to the second that leg. For one reason, my camera was not just showing. Please understand, it was just a mistake and an oversight when recording this particular tutorial. So I'm just going to indicate that. So that's where I'm now going to transfer the dart to. So I'm just going to get the line straighten up again. So I took it to now better. So I took it to the other side of the dart. I came in 2 inches and I did that. So this particular one to the upper part where the flare is going to be on the neckline. So I'm just going to also draw the line this way to where it's going to be, and I'm working with a 2 1/4 on my armhole, on my shoulder, because what I did was I got the midpoint. So you can see that I indicated. I also did that to the other side. So the midpoint is what I use the shoulder for me to get where I'm going to be getting my neckline from. So you divide um your shoulder slant, divide it by 2, and wherever the midpoint hits, that is where you should use when drafting your own pattern. So what I'm going to do next is to also close this to that and transfer it back to where the permanent position for now. So remember not to slash through. Just when you get to the bust point, you stop. So I'm now closing it again. And this is it. And I'm going to do the same thing for the upper part. So I have to indicate, please indicate that this part is to be sewn, so there will be notch. So notch it when you're cutting it on your main fabric. So you can see that we've done this part. So this is the part that I'm just going to sew on the design, and that's how it's going to be. While this other side is going to be having the flare. So from there to there I'll sew it. So now I'll close this part. So you can see that the data has been transferred there, and when cutting I will always notch where and to stop, so that I will know that that part I have to sew them together. So after doing that, just to secure it more, I'm just going to add more masking tape to that part. Now the next thing to do is to add my seam allowance, which is half inches. So half inches is what I'm going to be using to sew the neckline. So I'm just going to indicate it by using my ruler to indicate the line. Then after that, I'm just going to apply add the allowance on this side. Then this particular neckline, all the allowance will be done on the fabric in other words to save paper too. So I'm just going to add the allowance on this other part and cut it off to show you how it looks like at the end of the day. So this is how it looks like after I have cut the excess parts that are not needed, and this is it. So I'm just going to close it this way, and I'm also going to close the neckline this other. So I'm just going to close this part this way, and that is it. This is the part that I'm going to close together, and you can see that it's already giving me the shape of my bust. So that's it on this part. So we'll just go straight to the back now. So the back, from the design, you can see that the buttonhole is at the side, so there's no zip to this. It's just a buttonhole they used to design it, and it's actually at one side of it, which is the left hand side. So we are going to put our back pattern that we also did. We traced it on fold so it has a double effect. So this is the right side and this is the left side, so I have to correspond it with the back pattern to make sure that it's still the same thing. So this is the right and this is the left. So that's what we did. So the next thing I need to do again now is to get the center line. Yes, so the center line allows me to know where the midpoint is at the back. So the next thing I need to do is to get this symmetric neckline at the back, just the way it shows here. So one is coming down at the other dart, and the other one is also coming to meet the other dart at the right hand side. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to get my mid armhole, my mid points. So by the time I check the front, remember I'm using 2.25, which is 2 1/4. So I have to mark the same 2 1/4 at the front. Sorry, at the back, and also label it. So the same shoulder, this is my shoulder back, cross checking it, and that is it's accurate. It matters a lot when drafting a pattern that you double check measurements, because sometimes you may assume that it's the same but it's not same. So I'm just going to rule the line, and I'll do the same thing at the other side of it to get the desired 2 1/4 measurement that we are using for our neckline. So after doing that, I would just take my time and draw the lines from that part. So you see the way the curve, it has a curve that came down a bit to where the dart is, so allow the flay to relax very well there. So I'm going to come down 1 inches from my dart point, going to come down 1 inches at that point, so it's come down a bit. Remember, if you're doing anything at the back, you have to consider where your bra is stopping. So for me, this is okay for me. If I go below this, it might affect where my bra is, and doesn't make any sense if it's going to be showing. So this is how the neckline is. You see how symmetric is it? It's still stylish. So this second dart, I am going to be sewing that dart. So I have to apply a contour principle here because I don't want any plump at my shoulder. So I'm going to come in to 0.25 and blend it to the shoulder tip. That's what I did here. So this is where one of the dart is going, and this is where the other dart is going. So I'm going to be adding an extension for it, button extension. If you have done shirts before, you know that you need a button extension to that effect. So this is where the dart is going to be, and this other dart, I'm just going to sew it. I'm going to sew this dart. So this is how it is. So this is the design, and this is how it looks like. So if you actually wanted to add this particular design to something, maybe a dress, this is how you can stop it. But I don't want it to be a dress. I don't even want it to be added to it. I just want it to be a blouse or a top that I can wear. So I'm going to be extending my pattern by 8 inches, so I can get my blouse length, so I can always wear this with with a skirt, with a trouser, or any particular outfit I want to wear it, because I really love this design and I intend to rock it more than just with one particular outfit. So I'm just going to extend it. For the sake of this video to be fast, I'm going to fast forward this part. So what I did is just to extend it and add my zip, my hip extension. I'm going to also do that to the front. So just extend it, add the necessary measurement. Now I'm actually curving it. I came up 2 inches to have that curve. You can actually go up more than 2 inches to get it. Then I'm extending that. So after doing that, I'm just going to visualize where the buttons are going to be. Then I'm adding my seam allowance, which I use 1 inch for seam allowance. Then after that, I'm just going to cut it off this way. Then also add my seam allowance on my armhole and take off the part I don't need the other side. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel. That will actually encourage me more to do videos like this, teaching you the basic in how you can manipulate your that and enjoy that manipulation. So this is going to be a series. I'll be uploading more of this on this channel, so stay tuned, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you get notified on the next one. So this is the front, and as you can see, this is to the waistline. So I will want to extend it to give me the extended length in which I need to get it done. So I'm going to take it back to the original style and open it at the arm, under the arm. So first thing I need to do is to remove the darts that I closed on the armhole, and this is it. I'm just clicking the masking tape quietly so I don't tear the paper, the pattern. So I'm just going to be taking it off to close the other dart leg at the waistline, because I'll be transferring it up 2 inches away from it so I can able to have my extension. You can actually make yours this way, or you can redesign, go back to the basic design, which is this way. That's it. I've closed it. So now that I've closed it, I'm just going to open it more. I'm just going to close it properly so it doesn't get turned up. Now I'm just opening it. I came up 2 inches, and now I'm going to slash it again to the bust points, like so. Then I'm going to now close it back again. So now I'm closing it back. So this is the final look that I want. So the next thing I need to do is to make sure that I secure this part very well. So after doing that, just to make sure that it's well secured, while I'm checking it, because I wouldn't want it to open. So now I'm going to do is to extend the length just the way I did at the back, so it can become a blouse. So if you don't want yours to be a blouse, probably you want to make it a jumpsuit or a dress, feel free to just complete can add the down to it. But in this case, I want it to be a blouse, so I came down 8 inches, and I'm just going to do the same thing which I did at the back. And now I'm just going to trim off the excess paper that I don't need. And after trimming off the excess paper, make sure that everything is ready for me to start cutting. So I'm checking everywhere, trimming the excess just to be sure that I don't have excess. So I use 1 inches as my sewing allowance for this particular tutorial. Then I'm just cross checking every part, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to my machine and I'll sew this part, then I'll sew this upper part where I notch, and this is the pattern of a flay I'm going to trim later and add it to it. So the same part is not here, but from the tutorial, from this pattern drafting, you can able to do sew it yourself. It's quite easy, so I didn't video that part. So you just have to gather this flay the way, then trim it up the way you want it to be, and voila, you're done. And this is how it looks like. So for you to cut it, you had your seam allowance this way, just add the seam allowance, then cut it off. Then for the back, then cut it off. For the back, you just have to put it this way, then add your extension, your button extension, to cover it up for you. So in this case, I'm using my ruler to mark 1.5, and that's what I did for the both side at the back. And voila, the dress is ready, the top is ready, and this is how it looks on me for my business events that I went for. So it's something you're going to be trying. Please let me know in the comment section. And if you have any question, feel free to ask me that manipulation. And I hope you love this tutorial. Thank you so much and see you again. Ciao, ciao. Bye, bye, bye.